gotta tell you a story. So, this story is something that happened in my childhood. Yeah, maybe boring, maybe not. If you don't want to listen to it, might as well just exit out now. But if you want to stick around, you're in for a ride. So, when I was around like 13, 14 years old, me and my friend and my brothers decided we were going to outrun the police. And how we did that was in a unique way, you know? When you're a kid, you tend to find creative ways to do things. And that's definitely what we did. So, I guess we'll start from the very beginning. It was a dark, stormy night. Afternoon, actually. And it had been pouring all day. So, next to our house, there's a retention pond. And years before, I wanted to see, my neighbor had gone and jumped and swam in our retention pond. I don't really know why, but he did. And so, for some reason, that idea popped into my head when I saw our retention pond was full. Was like, let's go swimming in it. And so me and my friend went out there and started trying to go swimming, and it was so gross. Like, this ground was squishy underneath you, and like you didn't know what you were stepping on, and it was just, yeah, I wasn't really into it. But there was a retention pond down the street, that I decided, that I was like, hey, let's go check that one out. And at this time, it was still sprinkling a little, but the storm had passed. So me and my buddy ride up, we're riding, you know, right up to the retention pond up the street, and we're just kind of checking it out, you know. It's pretty flooded, the water's really rushing through, the manhole and stuff, out to the cornfield, which leads into this like ravine slash creek type thing. I don't really know what you want to call it, but we looked at it and we're like, wow, the water is really rushing. And so we went back home, went back to my house, kind of chilled there for a few minutes, and then went back out there with my younger brothers and decided, hey, like let's go trek the whole creek, you know, like let's just get in it, because by then the water was only at our ankles, where before it was like, you know, I guess at the time I was only, I don't know, like 4'5", 6", I don't know, but I was like 13 years old, so it was pretty high. It was like waist high or something, and it was rushing. Like if I would have gone into that, like I probably would have drowned. So next thing was, we got there, we all rode our bikes up there, get out, we're just going out there, kind of sloshing through the mud, and it's like, it's really low, so I mean there's really not much water at all. We're just kind of swimming around, playing around in the water, and we get about halfway through this like ravine type thing, and we look behind us because we hear voices, and we see the police. So at this moment we were pretty sketched out, like what the heck, why is there freaking police like walking in the ravine after, like, you know, where we were just at? And so like I mean 13 years old, you're a boy, I mean you're dumb. So we're like, holy crap, dude, like what the heck? Why are the police after us? So we decided, hey, you know what we should do? Instead of going to talk to the police like any sane person, let's run. Let's cover ourselves from head to toe in mud. We gotta disguise ourselves somehow. So that's exactly what we did. Me and all my brothers and my friend decided we were covering ourselves from head to toe in mud, because we didn't want to get caught by the police or something. I don't really know, but we decided to do it, and that's what we did. So we covered ourselves head to toe. My younger brother Timio had a shirt on, and I told him, dude, you're gonna have to lose the shirt. So we made him take off his shirt. He ditched it, left it there, and we are all just in our swim trunks. And so we covered ourselves head to toe, and at this time in the cornfield it was filled with, it was filled with corn. And so the corn was probably, I don't know, like 3 feet tall. It wasn't very tall yet. It had just been planted. And so then we all picked a row. And so we got in the row of corn and we're literally laying on our stomachs, covered head to toe in mud, laying on our stomachs in between the rows. And we start crawling because every single like surrounding of this cornfield now is surrounded by police, neighbors, and the fire trucks? Fire station? Firefighters? Firefighters, sure. Whichever one works. But it's besides the point. There's just a lot of people there. So there's a lot of people looking for us, a ton. Like, it was crazy. And we had no idea. We're sitting here thinking like, what the heck did we do? Were we like trespassing and we're gonna get in some trouble now? Like, is that why the police are out here? And so we're like, oh dude, we gotta get out of here. So we covered ourselves head to toe in mud, hop into the corn rows, and we're just army crawling. Oh yeah. Army crawling. Oh, thought I heard something. Lay your heads down. Move some mud over our head. Peek up. Army crawling some more. And we ended up army crawling from one end of the cornfield all the way to the other. And mind you, like, cops are starting to walk up and down rows of corn. Like, it's unreal. And so we're like, I was literally I was 3 rows away from a cop. Cops walking up and down the row, I'm 3 rows like away from him. And I don't know how, but we all managed to crawl from one end of the cornfield all the way to the other without anybody seeing us. So obviously we felt like, dang dude, we're outrunning the cops. Like, this is the greatest escape ever. So we make it to the other side. We're like at the line of like the back of everybody's houses on our street. And so we walk down until we're like directly across the street from my friend's house. And every every like few minutes, there would be another cop car that like circles around like the perimeter. So they had a perimeter watch, people watching to see if like we came out, which at the time we didn't know they were looking for us. So we are standing in the back of one of our like neighbors' houses and like waiting for the cop car to go by so we could run across the street to get to my friend's house. So we could clean up and stuff and just act like we were never out there. We were at his house the whole time just chilling. And so the cop car goes by, we're peeking, we're like, all right, coast is clear. We're dipping, we're running across. We get across and make it to his house, open up the garage, get inside, and we're like, dang, we did it. Yes! We just outran the cop and the fire trucks, firefighters. Search and rescue. We did it. And so we made it across, we got in the garage, we're safe, we're in his garage washing up in the sink. Because he's got a sink in this garage, and so we're like washing our body and stuff, getting all this mud off. And we all get cleaned up and we're about to walk inside his house when we hear a knock on his front door. So his garage door is like directly next to his front door. So like the doors are literally like right next to each other. So like we open and we peek out and we notice it's the police. And we're like, holy cow, how did they find us? And we're like freaking out and I'm like, oh crap, we shut off the lights in the garage. And then we go and we're like peeking out the window because the window of his garage like shows on his front door so we could see it. So like we get on the ladder and we're like peeking out. And all of a sudden, like a flashlight flashes in the window, and we're just like ducking, like hide ourselves. And then we're like, oh crap, dude, I think they know we're here. And then they went and like knocked on the garage and said, open up. And we're like, should we open it or do we like act like we're not here or what? But we opened up the garage and they just shone the flashlight on all of us. And we were all sitting there like, some of us still muddy, some of us are like, we're dripping, and we're just like, afraid, because like, it's the police. And we're sitting there like, holy holy cow, what's going on? And then that's when we realized, like, hey, the police phone in, like, you know, they get their radios. $41.99. They grab the radio and says, we have the 4 suspects in hand. And I'm sitting there like, suspects? What the frick do we do? And then all of a sudden, like, my dad rolls up, neighbors roll up, everybody's rolling up, and they're just like, oh my gosh, you guys are alive! Ah, we're so glad that you're here! Neighbors coming in, we thought you were dead! That actually happened, one of my neighbors. Actually, she's one of my good friends today. Her name's Megan. She's like, we thought you guys were dead! But yeah, so apparently what had happened was the neighbor had saw me and my friend go up during kind of like right after the storm when the water was really rushing and stuff. Saw me and him go up there and like look and see it, like look around and stuff, but he didn't see us leave. And so then he returned to go look, like just to look out again, and saw 2 more bikes there, which were my younger brothers when all of us came back to go check out, you know, to go and hike through it or whatever. And so the neighbor thought, oh crap, like those 2 boys jumped in or were playing around or someone fell in and something, and then 2 more boys came to look for them and now they're gone. So he calls the police thinking, oh my gosh, I think 4 boys just went and drowned in the creek. And so like he's freaking out or whatever and calls the police and is like, yeah, like I saw 2 bikes out there and then now there's 4 bikes, but I see no boys. And yeah, that's kind of where it all started. So the police were looking for us, the fire station, firefighters, whatever you want to call them, were looking for us, neighbors were looking for us, and luckily my mom wasn't home, it was my dad, because he was the one who was going to get killed when she got home. But yeah, it was an intense experience because I was thinking like, dude, this is the great escape, you know, like, I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's a good one, where did we just escape the whole freaking town, you know, like, we're 13 years old and some of us younger. But the one thing I do remember the whole time was my little brother Dylan says this the entire time we're out there. Guys, let's just turn ourselves in. We're like, turn ourselves in for what? We didn't do anything. And he's like, well, yeah, like, but we just turn ourselves in and admit to the cops we did what we did, and then we'll be fine. And I just remember hating on him so hard. Like, Dylan, we're not turning ourselves in for something we didn't even do. You know, we gotta run. I was just like, we gotta get out of here, you know? And he was, nah, like, let's just turn ourselves in. But he was like 6 or 7 at the time. So I guess like I can understand, I suppose. And so then, yeah, it was just it was an interesting thing. We told my mom about it. First thing she says when I start telling, oh yeah, we went to the thing, she's like, yep, you're grounded. And I was just like, oh, for real? But you said I wasn't gonna be grounded. And she was joking, so it was a fun time. It was crazy, and it was on the radio. It made it on the radio. I remember I was in the dentist like the next day or the day after that or something, and over the radio comes, there was 4 boys in Bourbon, Illinois that were presumed to be drowned in a creek near their house. When later they were found by officials and were okay. I was like, that's me! That's me! I was on that! I ran, I made it, we were safe, but guess what? I did it. I couldn't believe I made the radio. It was a big deal then, okay? I mean, it's cool, alright? I made the town news. How many people can say that? Alright, a lot of people can say that. But how many people ran away from the cops like that? Almost got away is what it's more like. We almost got away, but we made it home, so I don't know, I kind of count that. I feel like, I mean, we made it all the way home, like seriously. When you see this, like, you get it. So If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Did you think this was a good story? Did you not? Did you like it? Do you want to hear more things like this? Could you care less? Leave a thumbs up, because you know your boy, he needs those thumbs up. And then just join the family. Come on. I can't wait to grow this group. This is going to be our new thing. I want to create a generation of people that they stand bold. You know, there's someone new, there's someone different. They're not afraid to stand out and go against the grain. So yeah, let's live life. Let's do things the right way. Let's do them our way. And let's realize that not everything needs to be done in one way. There's many ways to do things. So I'll catch you on the next one. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't, because, well, I post some cool things on there sometimes when I do. And I just want to connect with you guys more, get to know you guys, see what you guys are up to, you know, just feeling it out. So I'll catch you on the next video, and I'll see you next week. Ciao!